Now, you can't hit a target if you don't know what you're aiming for. A strong graphic design brief gives you clarity. Without it, you're just guessing at the style, the message, the audience, and what the client actually wants. So what does a good graphic design brief actually look like? Let's break it down. In the last video, I unpacked what a design brief is and why it's essential to the design process. Now let's go deeper and look at the anatomy of what makes a good graphic design brief. The kind that gives you direction, saves time, and sets your project up for success. Now, not every brief will look the same. The structure might change and the language might vary, but the core content should always hit the same notes. Now, before we get into the details of what a brief should contain, it's important to talk about format. Depending on where the brief comes from or who's creating it, it can take many forms: a screen presentation, a PDF, or a printed document. In my experience, it's always best to have a printed brief. Designers usually prefer to get hands-on, making notes, highlighting key points, and referring back to it throughout the project. The design brief is a big part of the design process. While a digital brief might look polished, the best briefs are practical. They're printed, easy to work with, and designed to be used. Remember, a design brief isn't meant to be pretty. It's a working document that should clearly present all the information a designer needs to absorb and act on. So what does a good design brief contain? Well, a strong brief should give you all the information you need to understand the project context, client goals, what's required, target audience, what success looks like, visual direction, timeline, and deliverables. So here is an example of a good and thorough design brief. If you want to explore this brief example more closely, you can view it from the graphic design ebook that comes as part of this graphic design course. The graphic design ebook contains everything you need to follow along with this course. Not only does the ebook contain all the key information explored in this video, which you can view anytime, anywhere, but it also includes all the download links to all the design resources featured in this course. With the ebook open, click the design resources section in the main index, click design briefs, click design brief examples, and from here, you will see several brief examples which you can click to open and observe. In this instance, click on the Sol Hydra brief to follow along with this video. So this design brief example is separated into 4 key sections, each including many key parts. Section 1, Project Client Overview. Section 2, Design Overview. Section 3, Deliverables. And Section 4, Additional Notes. So Section 1 focuses on the client and project overview. This introduction will outline all the details a designer will need to learn about the client and the context of the project. And we'll start with the following. Project Brief Title. A simple, clear title that captures the essence of the project. Client and contact details. This will include names, roles, and contact info, who you're working with, and who to go to with questions. And then move into a more detailed overview of the project and client, which contains project, business, name, story. This can include any backstory or reasoning behind the business or project name, why it was chosen, what it represents, or how it came to be. This kind of insight can spark creative direction and help ensure the design aligns with the deeper meaning behind the brand. What? A short paragraph about the client and what they do. This provides context about the business, organization, or individual behind the project. Who are they? What do they offer? What industry are they in? This helps you understand their space and how they position themselves in the market, all of which can influence the direction of the design. Why? A short paragraph about why the client does what they do. This is about uncovering the passion, purpose, and motivation behind the brand or business. What drives them? What's their mission? Understanding the why gives you insight into the heart of the product or brand and helps shape design decisions that feel meaningful, authentic, and aligned with their values. Goals. A short paragraph about the client's ambitions and long-term vision. What are they ultimately trying to accomplish? This could include where they want the brand to go, how they want to grow, or the impact they hope to make in their industry or community. Understanding their goals gives you a clear picture of the bigger journey they're on and helps you design with that destination in mind. Brand values. A short paragraph outlining the core values or guiding principles of the product or brand. Understanding the brand's values helps guide visual decisions and feel authentic and aligned, ensuring the design reflects not just how the brand looks, but what it stands for. Unique selling points. A short paragraph outlining what makes the client, product, or service stand out from the competition. This helps clarify the brand's strengths and distinct qualities, whether it's their story, their values, pricing, product features, customer experience, or market position. Knowing the unique selling points gives the designer insight into how to shape the visual identity and messaging to highlight what truly sets the brand apart. Tone of voice and personality. A few key words or short phrases that describe how the brand should sound when it communicates. Is it friendly and approachable, bold and confident, professional and informative? This can also include 3 to 5 traits that best describe the brand's personality. This helps define the personality of the brand's messaging and ensures that both the design and the copy feel consistent across everything, from packaging to social media. Having a clear tone of voice and personality helps guide not just what's being said, but how it's said. Straplines. Include any existing straplines, taglines, or slogans the client currently uses or would like to use. This gives insight into the client's voice and competitive edge. These short, punchy phrases often capture the essence of the brand or communicate its key promise. Whether it's something already in place or still in development, straplines can help guide the overall tone, message, and creative direction of the project. If none exist yet, this is a good opportunity to brainstorm potential decisions based on the brand's goals and values. Primary audience. A clear overview of who the design is targeting. This should include details like age, gender, location, profession, lifestyle, income level, and personality traits. Anything that helps paint a clear picture of the core customer or user. Knowing exactly who the design is for helps guide visual choices, tone, and messaging, so the final outcome speaks directly to the people it's meant to engage and connect with. The better you understand the audience, the sharper and more effective your design will be. What they care about. A short summary of the audience's interests, values, and priorities. What matters most to them? What problems are they trying to solve? What influences their decisions or builds trust? This insight helps align the design with what the audience truly connects with, whether it's quality, convenience, sustainability, status, or something else entirely. Understanding what your audience cares about helps shape messaging and design choices that feel relevant and meaningful. Secondary audience. An overview of any additional groups the design should consider. This might include future users, adjacent markets, internal stakeholders, or fringe demographics the brand wants to attract or grow into. Recognizing secondary audiences ensures the design doesn't alienate other potential users and allows for broader appeal where needed, supporting long-term growth, inclusivity, and strategic expansion. Competitors. A list of any direct or indirect competitors in the same space, along with links, visual references, or notes on how they position themselves. This helps identify how your client fits into the market, what others are doing, and where there might be opportunities to stand out. It also helps avoid unintentionally mimicking competitor branding or messaging. Understanding the competitive landscape is key to designing something that's both relevant and distinctive. Strategic considerations, big picture. An outline of any broader vision and strategic goals behind the project, whether it's breaking into a new market, shifting public perceptions, challenging industry norms, or launching something entirely new. Understanding these bigger picture aims helps designers move beyond surface level aesthetics and develop more intentional, meaningful work. Strategic insights can spark bold, creative ideas, uncover opportunities to differentiate, and shape a design solution that's not only visually strong, but deeply aligned with the brand's mission and future direction. Budget. This outlines the financial scope of the project, either a fixed amount or a general range. If a quote has already been provided, it can be included here. If not, this is where the client can note what they are willing to spend. Having a clear budget helps define what's realistic, ensures expectations are aligned, and can influence the scale, timeline, and deliverables of the project. So the project client overview will include all the details a designer will need to learn about the client and the context of the project. A good brief will cover these key criteria. Now, section 2 focuses on the design criteria of a project. This will include all the details that give a designer all the information about what they will need to keep in mind regarding the design of the project. This section will include objectives, a clear summary of what needs to be designed and why. What is the project aiming to achieve? Are we raising awareness, increasing sales, launching something new, or shifting how the brand is perceived? This outlines the functional purpose behind the design and gives direction to your creative decisions. Having clarity here helps ensure the work is focused and built to deliver real results. Distribution, placement context. A clear summary of where the design will appear, whether it's for print like posters, flyers, packaging, digital platforms like Instagram, websites or email campaigns, or other environments. Understanding the placement helps shape everything from layout and format to tone and scale, so the design is optimized for its environment and reaches the audience where they actually engage. Impact, emotional response. A short paragraph about the kind of response the design should create. This is all about how the audience should feel when they interact with the design. Should it excite them, build trust, inspire action, or create curiosity? Whether it's emotional, intellectual, or sensory, this helps define the intended experience. Clarifying the desired impact helps guide tone, style, and creative choices to ensure the work resonates in the right way. Likes. A list of visual preferences, what the client likes. This can include brands, colors, styles, layout, and photography. It's also helpful to note any visual references the client has already researched. Understanding a client's preferences gives you a creative starting point and helps shape a direction. It can spark ideas and build early confidence in your design approach. Dislikes. To avoid. A list of what the client would prefer to avoid. Capturing this early helps steer the creative direction and avoid missteps, saving time and keeping the project aligned with the client's expectations. Visual references, color preferences, styles to avoid, anything that helps you steer clear of what the client doesn't want. Existing brand assets. A summary of any current branding or materials already in place. This might include logos, color palettes, typography, imagery, brand guidelines, or past marketing material. Knowing what already exists and what should be kept or evolved helps maintain consistency and ensures the new design fits within the broader brand system. If no assets are available, that's useful to know too. It often means there's more creative freedom to explore. Key design considerations. This should include any important notes, limitations, or requirements that could affect the design. This might include format constraints, accessibility needs, platform specifications, print requirements, or specific elements that must be included. It can also cover technical aspects like file types, image resolutions, or usage contexts. Identifying these early helps avoid surprises later and ensures the design is both creative and practical. Accessibility or legal requirements. An outline of any accessibility standards, compliance rules, or legal guidelines that need to be considered, such as WCAG accessibility, color contrast, alt text, copyright usage, disclaimers, or industry regulations. These requirements ensure the design is inclusive, legally sound, and suitable for all users, helping avoid potential issues while making the final outcome accessible, ethical, and compliant. Design achievements. This outlines the core goals of the design itself. For example, should it attract attention, inform clarity, drive a response, or simply look professional and on brand? These are the practical outcomes the design should deliver once completed. Keeping these goals clear helps you stay focused on what the design needs to do, not just how it looks. How will success be measured? This should outline the metrics, feedback, or outcomes that will be used to evaluate the effectiveness of the work. This could include increased sales, higher engagement, improved brand recognition, or feedback from a target audience. Defining this early helps align expectations and gives you something concrete to work towards and reflect on once the project is complete. Timeline. This should outline key milestones and the final deadline. It can include start dates, phases of development, and any important delivery checkpoints. A clear timeline helps manage expectations, keeps the project on track, and ensure there's enough time allocated for feedback, revisions, and final delivery. This keeps everyone accountable and gives the project structure. Approval process. A clarification of who will be responsible for reviewing and signing off on the design, including any stakeholders or decision makers involved throughout the process. Knowing who has final say helps streamline communication, avoid unnecessary revisions, and keep the project moving forward with clear accountability at each stage. So the design overview will include all the details a designer will need to know about what is required. A good brief will cover these key criteria. So the next section focuses on the design deliverables for the project. Depending on the scope, there may be one or many deliverables required. In this brief, there is a checklist of exactly what needs to be created, whether it's a logo, print files, social media assets, packaging, or all of the above. This can be sectioned into various subcategories, making it easy to manage, with a simple checkbox system to highlight what is required. So the deliverables overview should include all the items a designer will need to know about what is required. A good brief will cover these key criteria. So the last section focuses on additional notes. This is a space for additional information, links, and anything else that may be important for a designer to know about. So those are all the key criteria a good design brief will include. A strong design brief allows a designer to take a step back, digest the information, and start the design process to problem solve with purpose. Because what makes a great brief isn't how pretty the template is, it's the quality of the information and the clarity of the intent behind it. When the right questions are asked and answered, everything else gets easier. So here's the insight I want to leave you with. Great design starts with great understanding, and that starts with the graphic design brief. Whether you're handed one or you have to build it yourself, take the time to get clear on the details before you dive into the design process. In the next video, we're going to look at the different types of briefs you may encounter and how each type of brief can shape your creative direction in very different ways. So see you in the next video.